Two correctional services officials have now been suspended, and it follows an internal investigation into the death of an inmate at the Goodwood prison. Quinton Fortuin died in February of this year. Correctional Services Commissioner Makgothi Thobakgale addressed the media this morning, and Newzroom Afrika's Vaylen Kirtley was there and joins us now. Vaylen, what did we learn?
Thank you very much, Iman. Yes, a lot coming out of the report. It was compiled over almost 6 weeks. But just to elucidate a little bit more on what came out of that report, we've got the Commissioner standing with us. A very good morning, Makgothi Thobakgale. Thanks so much for chatting to Newzroom Afrika. There were initial reports that there were dog bites seen on the deceased. However, nothing of that nature came out in the report.
Yes, the report indicates that the security equipment that was utilized during the incident of trying to defuse the security threats that were there, including disarming offender Fortuin, were tomfas. So the instruments that were used were tomfas, to the extent that one of the tomfas actually broke. So that is what the report is presenting to us.
Two officials were suspended in the course of the investigation of the report. You've recommended that another two be suspended. There was also mention of disciplinary action being taken against other officials. How many other officials were involved in this incident?
According to the report, the number of officials that were involved are 7. There are 4 officials that were initially suspended. The suspension of 2 officials was uplifted. And when I went through the report to process it for the attention of the regional commissioner, I then could not see a reason why were those suspensions uplifted. So I've directed the regional commissioner and the team that those suspensions should be reinstated, and the process to discipline all other officials that were involved should be expedited.
Commissioner, the report also gives us a kind of a context of the correctional service and the correctional facility here at Goodwood at 150% capacity with just 302 staff. Those suspensions this facility can hardly afford. Have those suspended officials been replaced?
Well, when we suspend an official, if we are not in a process of recruitment, they are not replaced. So we continue to face staff shortages. And of course, for us to be able to recruit more, we need to be provided with the resources to do that. So it's just a problem because we are faced with overcrowding. We have more offenders that come through. Offender Fortuin was in the remand section on a daily basis. Even today, we will receive a new offenders that will be coming through. But the number of officials that we have is not increasing.
What is the medium-term plan to deal with the staff shortages?
Next week, we will be taking the first intake of the learners, those officials that will join the department after going through training at the college. So the first intake will happen next week, and we hope in the month of June we can then get the second intake coming through. So that will give us at least just over 1,300 new members after 6 months.
In the report, it mentions that corrective measures will be taken and a holistic approach will be taken for the management of who will act out as Quinton Fortuin did on the 16th of February with a handmade sharp object. But what sanctions are available to correctional services if it is found that there is too much force?
Well, obviously, we're going to take those officials through disciplinary processes. And based on the outcomes of the disciplinary processes, the highest sanction obviously would be dismissal and then there will be others which are lesser than that. But that depends on the outcomes of the disciplinary hearing. Remember also, South African Police Service is investigating now an unnatural death, and they will cooperate with the investigation from SAPS. And if there are charges that are proffered against our officials, they will have to answer to those charges.
What kind of support is the facility getting at the moment?
Well, to start with, the region has been supporting the facility even before this incident, because we identified it as one of those facilities that needs attention. Throughout the country, we have categorized at least top 10 facilities per each region that needs attention. So we have the regional security team that comes to augment the numbers that we have upon request and when we have analyzed and seen a need for that to happen. But as it stands, the facility operates with the staff complement of 302 and with that overcrowding level of more than 150%.
This isn't the first incident of death of an inmate. The correctional services are busy dealing with a potential of a potential cover-up that happened at the Makgothi Correctional Services. What is Correctional Services doing in order to ensure that its staff are equipped and that these incidents don't happen?
Well, one of the things that I also directed is that we should resensitize our officials on the use of force, that it should be applied according to the law. That's number one. Number two, I've also directed that we speed up the process of improving on the integrated security system, basically technology. Yesterday we were testing drones, so we're trying by all means to make sure that there are eyes, and ears everywhere in all the corners of correctional facilities, so that we do not have, or we eliminate the blind spots that we have, so we can have information. We're also looking into acquiring body cameras for our officials. But as I've indicated, that is a function of the budget. It will depend on whether we will have an allocation that can get us to that point. Apart from that, then we rely on the boots on the ground to deal with any security incident or report any wrongdoing that might take place.
Commissioner of Correctional Services, Makgothi Thobakgale, chatting to us here live on Newzroom Afrika. This is an incident, Iman, that took place on the 16th of February at Goodwood Correctional Services when the inmates were being called out of their cells. The report indicating that Quinton Fortuin didn't get out of his cell until he was actually called, and then he joined at the end of the line, and an unprovoked attack then ensued, which left two officials still recuperating at this point at home. He attacked them with a sharp object, but of course he himself lost his life in the process. So that is the latest here from the Goodwood Correctional Services.